So there's this thing I learned in the gym when I was a teenager that I always saw as a metaphor for life, where sometimes you might see someone, say like if you're into lifting and you're in the gym and you see someone repping out some super lightweight, and you might think that because you see that they're weak, but sometimes, if they had been training for like 2 hours before you got there and you didn't see how fatigued they were from all that, maybe they're even putting in more work than you, and maybe they're actually stronger than you, but they're taking their ego out of the picture and they're lifting some light weight because it's what they're working on at the moment. Or they're tired, from all the work you didn't see or whatever. And I see it in fighting too, like maybe someone's hitting the bag and they kind of look not so great, but you don't realize that they just got done with like 3 hours of brutal training, so you can't really judge them like that. And it's a metaphor for life because we all know that it's not completely healthy to look at life as competitive. Like, you don't always want to be thinking about other people, but there really is a winner and a loser in most situations, especially if you're talking about trying to be successful. You are competing with people. And we see the pendulum swing where, say like when you were in high school, maybe someone was popular, but then they're not. Or someone was doing well and then they're not. And then once you're an adult, it's like someone's successful, they're making a lot of money, and then they're not. And it doesn't work out, right? So there's these ups and downs. If you can ride the wave of success forever, that's ideal. But you will see sometimes, there's one guy and he's doing really well. There's another guy that he knows it's not doing so well, but 10 years later, the roles might reverse. And there's this thing I noticed where sometimes people would see a guy, say in the gym, lifting lightweight and kind of be like, damn, he's weak. And then when they see him on a different day and he is going heavy, they realize that he's actually stronger than them, and it kind of like shatters their mind. And I just want you to think about something. Yes, you are in competition with other people who want to be successful in the same field as you. But at the end of the day, I truly believe that if you just lock yourself down and focus on what you can do, that you will pass them. And there's been times in my life where I was on a decline, and when I noticed that people were kind of like enjoying that, like they were like, oh, look, Mikkel, he's falling off, he's not grinding, look at him, he's falling off, So I would separate myself from those people, just keep working on myself, maybe they saw me during like a decline, but that's just life. So then I keep working on myself. They don't really see me for a long time. And then when I see them, it looks like they're really not having a good time when they see that I'm doing better. And I just want you to think about the fact that you're really setting yourself up for misery if it bothers you to see other people doing well. So be competitive, but if other people are doing well, you should see that as like, damn, I really need to go harder. I need to reassess. I need to maybe figure out if they're doing something that I need to know about. And I just think nowadays a lot of people don't want to see you do well, and it's really creepy and it's really weird. So like I've had friends before that say like when I was in high school, I'd gained a lot of weight, lifting weights since I started lifting like in middle school. But then at the end of high school, some things were going on in my life. I wasn't doing so well, and I started losing weight. I got really skinny. And I remember there was kind of a guy that was like my bodybuilder friend that like really enjoyed telling me that I was losing weight. Like he was like very happy about it, which, is like super creepy. And as a teenager in high school, I thought it was like so crazy. But now I'm 25, I kind of see, I hope I'm wrong, but I kind of see like most of the population like that. And there's this thing that Dana White said about people nowadays are kind of lazy, and if you can just like isolate yourself and grind and really focus, and then like go after it, that you will set yourself apart from the crowd. Well, I think a really important element of that is checking yourself to make sure that your competitive instincts are being channeled in the right direction. Um, if you do well enough, you don't have to put your foot on anyone's neck to feel good. And if you're watching this channel, you're probably not on that path of putting other people down. You're probably just bettering yourself, so you probably already know. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if there's people that you feel are bad people, or they have shady character or whatever, but they're like winning and you feel like you're losing, the best thing you can do is just focus on what you can do. And with them, you sit back and you let them show the world who they are. Because if you saw it, other people would see it too. People always see it. So you lock yourself down and you put in the work and you put in the work and you put in the work. And one day, whatever they said about you is going to make them look really dumb. Because people are going to see you and be like, well, he or she is just focused on their craft. They're actually doing really well. They're making things happen. And, later down the line, like I said, if you just sit back and let that toxic person put themselves out there, they will ruin their reputation. That's how that works. So the pendulum swings. It's like the tortoise and the hare, right? They're in a race. And sometimes one guy's winning, sometimes the other guy starts to win. It's like a scale. It tips either way. And try to evaluate yourself based on, okay, am I the person that's heading up? Or am I the person that's stagnant, which really means you're going down, because there's no such thing as standing still? Am I the person that's on the decline, but is talking shit about other people? And I've seen it play out a bunch of times. I think people have this belief that good guys never win, and the bad guys always win. I don't subscribe to that belief. I've seen the downfall of a lot of toxic people, and I've seen people that really never got credit for years and years and years and years finally break through and get credit. I've seen it happen. And just be careful about the way that you react when you start to make progress. When you start to make progress, does it make you look down on other people? Because I've seen people go from they had never done anything good, and then they made a little bit of progress for a month, and they kind of started to have an attitude of I'm better than everybody. And that is not sustainable, because guess what? I see them years later, they're not doing well. I see them years later and they're not doing well. The only people I've ever known that have been able to sustain progress over years and years and years and really keep it going and stay on it, because no one's perfect, it's up and down. But the people that stay making progress, they have one thing in common, and that's that doing good for themselves never made them act like they were better than other people or shit on other people, or, you get what I'm trying to say. They never did that. And so their success continued. Pride comes before the fall. In Greek mythology, they teach you in freaking middle school. In Greek mythology, there was hubris and then nemesis, which is basically just pride and then the fall. Hubris, you probably know, is basically pride. But nemesis was when the gods would send someone to humble you, your nemesis. They would be sent from the gods to you, designated for you. They have your name, and they're coming for you to humble you. And even if they don't know, that was their purpose of incarnating on earth. That's in Greek mythology. It's even in Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was super, prideful and kind of got full of himself. So they sent, I think the character's name is Enkidu, but I might be wrong about that. So if I'm wrong, roast me in the comments. But they send this a lot of people speculate that because translations get weird, but they're pretty sure that the story goes it was a Sasquatch, Bigfoot type creature, half man, half bear or some shit, that the gods sent to humble Gilgamesh. And more often than not, if you make progress and then that makes you put other people down because you made some progress. The people that will pass you and the people that will humble you might just be the same people that you shit on when they were not doing so well. And life is poetic in that way. Because like I said in my first video, if you're on this channel and you made it this far in this video, go watch my first video where I'm talking. It's called Life is a Story. Watch that video. And I think this video complements that video, and hopefully it motivates you. Look, it's 2025. It's 1 year. These things are going by fast now. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but 1 year goes by kind of fast now. If you can stay on the path for 365 days, you might just run into some of those people that shit on you a year from now. And you might see a look on their face that looks like they're not really having a good time. And maybe I'm petty for this, maybe this is a flaw, but I love that. At one point I had someone that was like pretty close with me. Actually, that I saw as like a mentor. But it was like obvious to not just me, but a lot of other people, he kind of secretly wanted me to lose. And I remember after I had just done something that was really good, I had accomplished something. I was in my car after, and I was like celebrating. I like turned the music up and I was like screaming and losing my mind. And I looked at him, he was in my passenger seat, and he just looked like he saw a ghost. It wasn't just that he wasn't excited for me, like he was like in pain. He was in pain to see that happen. And I had already known that he was like a snake. This is like shortly before I cut him off. You know, it's actually really common. Like people that have had mentors, you usually have to go through a few to find a good one, because a lot of mentors, you know, they'll love you when you're a nobody. But if you start to do, you know, better than them, you know, things change. But I got to be honest, when I looked at him in the passenger seat and I saw the look on his face, I liked it. I never told him that. I'm not petty. I'm not going to, well, I guess I am petty, but I'm not going to argue with anyone. You know, I don't want to even have those conversations. It's just an energy drainer. It's just an energy suck. So I never told him, but I saw it. I saw the way he looked at me. He was not having a good time. He did not want to see me win. He wanted to see me lose, but I won. 365 days is going to go by fast. Well, it's really 362 because it's January 3rd, but listen, guys, 52 weeks, stay focused, stay on it. Okay, time is going by fast. One day goes fast, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And if you've made time for your craft for a whole year, every single day, that momentum is going to add up. You're going to have something to show for it. Something. We'll worry about 2026 when we fucking get there. All right, guys? Let's go.